Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm doing kind of a random video, a short video. I just wanted to talk about one of my favorite formats to collect and read comics, especially read them, that being the Marvel Epic Collections. Um, yeah, I don't know, I've been reading the Bendis run of Daredevil lately, and I've read other stuff in this format as well, but every time I come back to reading in an Epic collection, I'm reminded of just how awesome the format is, and that is what I want to talk about today. So I'm not going to go on for too long. Roll the intro. Now let me talk about what makes an Epic collection so awesome. So first of all, you've got these original kind of Epic collections here. Uh, right here I have the first Wolverine Epic collection, which is currently out of print, I believe. Um, but you can tell that it's like an original Epic collection just because it says Epic collection on with this kind of font in the front, and then it also has a little picture on the side that'll be colored in like a corresponding color, and they all have this same spine design, as you can see behind me. Um, all of these look amazing on the shelf. They all within a series have like a corresponding color, and then they all just have like a little picture on the end. These ones over here are what you call the modern era Epic collections. These I have actual like normally colored images, while just the regular Epic collections have um, like a flat one color. What they do though, so the regular Epic collections can collect anything from all the way back in the 60s, uh, up until I believe through the 90s. And then what they started doing is the modern era Epic collections, which, I mean, hence the name, uh, covers stuff from, I believe, like the late 90s, early 2000s, through like the 2010s. I'm not sure if like what the most recent content collected in a modern era Epic collection is, but from what I understand and from what I can see, is most of the stuff collected in the modern era epics is stuff from, like I said, the early 2000s, like 2002, 2008, stuff like that. And I think, let me think, there's one that's coming out soon that's going to be collecting the Charles Soule run of the Darth Vader series, which that run is from 2017. So they do reach pretty far, I suppose. But what makes these really great is they collect a lot of content. Um, for this one in particular, this Wolverine one has 1 through 16 of the original series, which is amazing. Marvel Comics Presents 1 through 10, and then Marvel Age Annual number 4. Um, so, I mean, right there, you're just getting a ton of content packed into one of these. These usually run about $45 to $50 a piece. So they are still a little pricey, but you do get just a lot of content in there. I think they're upping the price of them. Like they've steadily raised the price of them over time. And I think some of them are reaching $55. That's like the new standard price of new ones coming out in 2026. Sadly, um, but they're still really great, and there's a lot of them that you can get that have been out for a while and that are still in print. Um, that are on sale on Amazon or wherever you get your books. I use Amazon a lot because it's super convenient, but you can get ones that are like $30, $25. It just depends. Um, but yeah, these have also just been a really great alternative for me, because normally I would collect. I prioritize getting an Omni, but a lot of times with an Omni, uh, it'll be out of print, at least for stuff that I want to read. For example, we have the Abnet Guardians of the Galaxy. That omnibus is out of print, so they're printing, you know, they've been printing these epic collections, which I believe you could still get, and you can get them on sale. $35 for one of these, not have to pay the crazy prices, or even to track down all of like the individual trades of a series. Even, and of course, you can read stuff online, but as a physical collector, this is just a really great alternative. And within the last couple of years, they started doing the modern ones. Um, and yeah, they're basically starting fresh with like a new line of collected edition, essentially, with the modern ones. So if you want to like get into collecting them now, you can basically get the jump on collecting a lot of these great series from the early 2000s, from the beginning, and not have to worry about a lot of stuff being out of print, because the normal epic collections have been going for quite a while. I think from like the early 2010s, and there's a ton of those that are extremely hard to get. A lot of people collect epic collections. This isn't a new thing. It's just new to me, kind of, as I'm, getting into being a comic collector and reading more and stuff like that. Um, but I mean, you have ones that are out of print and go for crazy prices on the secondhand market that match or even sometimes exceed the prices of certain out of print omnibuses. So you do have to play your cards right. But if you're able to get ones that are currently in print in stock, it can just be an excellent alternative to trying to wait for an omnibus reprint, which those don't. It's kind of up in the air when an omnibus can get reprinted, right? It could be several years until one gets either printed for the first time or a reprint. Um, so yeah, it's just a great opportunity. For example, like I said, with the Daredevil ones, all of these are currently in print, and I started collecting these last year. So they have Volume 2 here, which is the beginning of the Bendis run for the Modern Era Epics. Volume 3, which is the second volume. And then Volume 4, which is the third volume. I actually just finished this today. And then here at the end of the month is Volume 5, which is going to be the final Modern Era epic of the Bendis run, which I'm going to read that. And then they did do this one earlier last year. This one is the first. This is Volume 6, which collects the first volume or arc of the Brubaker run. So they do print these out of order. But what I have noticed is with the Modern Era ones in particular, they have been keeping it pretty like in order for the most part, which has been really nice. Like if you get Volume 1, you can expect either later in the year or later next year to get a Volume 2, and them not jump ahead to Volume 6 or whatever it may be, because they tend to do that a lot with the regular epic collections, just because there is so much content and they want to highlight certain iconic arcs and stuff like that. But with the modern epics, like I said, they keep it pretty chronological and sequential, so you don't have to worry about them going out of order too much. But yeah, some ones that I want to highlight for you guys that I have read. First of all, like I said, the Daredevil. These are awesome, as well as Astonishing X-Men. The Astonishing X-Men, because the omnibus, again, one of those ones that's pretty hard to find. Just the whole run of the Whedon and Cassaday run is collected within these two volumes right here, but you can get them for super cheap again on Amazon. Excellent run, one of my favorites. A lot of these I still have to read, and I plan on getting to this year. But yeah, no, I just wanted to make this video, I guess, kind of highlight these as just an excellent collecting and reading alternative. But yeah, talking about the amount of content they collect, it's sometimes you don't want to have to track down a bunch of little trades that only collect 6 issues. These you can, as a one-stop shop, you can get a few trades worth of content in one book, while still it being relatively easy to transport. And for somebody like me who does most of my reading outside of the house, having books that are really big can be kind of difficult to transport and read in public and read at school. I do from time to time tend to bring an omnibus with me, um, but for me, who I have lately been using a satchel bag as opposed to my usual backpack, it's just not an option to bring those bigger books with me, which is why, you know, the Epic collections were kind of a sweet spot in between, uh, you know, having having a smaller book that's flexible and comfortable to read, and then also having quite a bit of content to satisfy you, so you don't have to bring, let's say you're going in public and you bring 4 trades with you or something like that, which is ridiculous. You just bring one book with you that's just comfortable to read. Uh, and yeah, they are absolutely fantastic. I love the way they feel in my hand when I'm reading them. I love the way they look on the shelf, especially. I mean, look at this, just very, very uniform. I really love the way these look, and as the collection expands, it's just going to look even cooler. It's just probably one of my, like, I love my omnibuses, but these are an excellent, like, little piece of my collection. I just love the way it looks. But anyway, yeah, that's what this video was. Just wanted to talk about that briefly, shout these guys out. And yeah, thank you all for watching. If you do enjoy, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about Marvel Epic Collections in the not the description, the comments. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. But anyways, that's it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.